Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me, and I apologize for not being able to be here live. We do expect to have internet in our cousin's studio tomorrow, so hopefully this won't be a problem going forward, but thank you for your understanding and patience. And next Tuesday is my birthday, so I will not be live. I'll try to do a video this week if I have the ability to do so, but it's my birthday, so I'm going to be celebrating. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. As always, I want to just remind everyone that if you spend $50 in my online store, you are going to get a tutorial bundle of 37 projects that you can use for lots of inspiration and give you great ideas on the various stamp sets and things that you can do with that. Okay, and then I've got my order in. It just came in today. It's only taken 2 weeks. So I may just hop on live one day this week. I may not even announce it, but I may just do a boxing and unboxing. Just if you happen to be on the internet, just, check it out or just check occasionally and see if I've done that. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a new fun fold, and I am going to show you, I'm going to show you one of the cards, and then I'll show you a second one afterwards. I love this card. And let me show you what we're going to make. I got this from Dawn Griffin, Dawn Stampin' Thoughts, that's what it is. And the paper on this one I'm using is the lovely linen. And isn't this a great, let me move this out of the way. Now I apologize because I do not have my, I'm going to flip this over. I cannot locate my grid paper, and we are moving in 2 weeks. So hallelujah, thank you for that. All right, so here's this fun fold. Now I'm using the Puffin Party stamp set. Now look at this. Isn't this adorable? You open it and open it. Look at that. Isn't that the cutest thing? Isn't that cute? And then what you can do, and I'm going to give you the dimensions for everything. So what you can do is you will be able to put, if you want to have room to write a message, just use the same side and place that right back here for your messages. All right, so this is what we're going to be making, and I've got another one to show you when we get done, but I wanted to at least give you to show you two options, okay? But isn't that cute? It's a cascading folding card, so it's a cascading card. Isn't that cute? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I am going to be working with, let me find my papers, Evening Evergreen. Now, the first thing, this is cut at 4 1/8 by 9 1/2. Okay, now what we need to do is, I need to find my directions. So give me 1 second. I just moved them. And of course, do you think oh, here they are. I covered them up with my paper. Go figure. So 4 1/8 by 9 1/2. All right, so here we go. We're going to do some scoring, and we're going to bring our arm out. So the first score that we're going to do, we're going to score this at 1 inch, 2 inches, 7 1/2, and 8 1/2. Okay, so I'm just going to make it easier. I'm going to start right here at the 1 inch mark. We're going to line that up. Make sure I've got it straight in there. All right, so we're going to do the 1 inch, and then we're going to move it down and do 2 inches. All right, so we're going to do a 2 inch, and then we're going to move it all the way down to 7 1/2. And hopefully that's in the camera. Let me move that down a little bit. So we're going to get this over to 7 1/2. And then we're going to move it to 8 1/2. All right, so we've got that at 8 1/2, and we're going to score that, okay? Now we're going to turn this, and we're going to score, see the score marker right here? This is at the 1 inch mark, right? So we're going to line this. I'm going to move over here to the 1 inch mark on my score line. And I'm just going to score down to this score line, which is 1 inch, right? So you just want to score down here. So we're going to come down. And if you have the scoring blade with Stampin' Up, it's got a line right here that you can see where, or see the line right here. I don't know if you can see that. It will show you where you need to stop at your 1 inch mark, okay? So you're just going to score down to that 1 inch, all right? You're going to do the same thing. Bring it down to the bottom. That's a 1 inch as well. And we're going to take this and we're going to score it up to that one line right there. So I'm just going to score it, get my line up there where my blade is. Just do a couple of pulls, and then that's all we're going to do on this piece of paper. All right. Now, we're going to do a little bit more scoring. Now, the next thing we're going to do and I'll give you the measurements. We're going to score our mechanism. So let me give you the pieces that go with this. You're going to do whatever your cardstock is. I just did coordinating cardstock. All right, so we're going to need, these are going to be the first doors. We're going to call them doors. So these are 2. You're going to do 2 at 2 3/4 by 3 5/8. So you want 2 of those. And then we're going to cut 2 more at 3 1/8 by 2 1/4, 2 1/4 by 3 1/8. So you want 2 more of those, okay? And then you want 2 more of the same cardstock color. And these are going to be what we call the mechanism to make our card expand into the cascading. And you're going to do 2 of these at 2 1/2 by 3 inches. 2 1/2 by 3 inches. All right, then you're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper. And those will be cut at 2 1/2 by 3 3/8. And that's going to go on that first, what we call the doors. So those will go like that. And then you want 2 pieces of basic white, and they're going to be cut at 2 by 2 7/8. And this is where you can do any stamping, and then that will go on the smaller piece. All right, so that's everything that you need. Now, we're going to take our mechanism. Let me find those 2. And the 2 of those, I don't know if I told you that. The 2 of these for the mechanism are 2 1/2 by 3 inches. So 2 1/2 by 3. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to score these. We're going to do 3/4 of an inch. So on our paper trimmer, let me move my arm in. On the paper trimmer, we've got the 1 inch mark and 3/4 right here to the right hand side. So I'm going to line this up at 3/4 of an inch here. Okay, and we're going to come up, we're going to score that. That's 3/4. And then we're going to move this on this side here. We're going to move it over to 1 3/4. So we're going to line this side, the left side up at 1 3/4. All right, and then we're going to score that as well. Let's see if we got that right. Nope, we've got to turn that around. That's my fault. We're going to do 1 3/4 here. And then this one here is 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to flip this back around. And when I fold it, I'll fold it correctly. So we'll do it on the right one. We got one other. Okay, so that's that one. And then the second one, let's do the same thing. Let's go ahead and we'll line it up on this side. We're going to do 3/4 of an inch right here. And this is on the 2 1/2 inch side. Okay, so you're going to do 3/4 of an inch. All right, and then we're going to move that down to 1 3/4. All right, and then that's, you'll see our mechanisms, okay? And then I'll show you how we're going to fold those in just a moment. All right, now we're going to start with, and I'm going to lay everything off to the side for just a moment, because we are going to bring in our paper snips. Now, we made the 1 inch score line right here. I don't know if you can see because it's kind of dark. And then we came on the opposite side and did a 1 inch down. So we're going to fold these and give them a good crease, because this is what's going to create our cascading, the start of our cascading card. So let's go ahead and give this a good burnish with our bone folder. And then we're going to come back. Okay, so we actually want this to go the opposite way. We want this guy to come in, and then this one's going to come out, okay? All right, so that's how we want it to open, but we're going to cut something here in just a minute, and I'm going to show you how we do that. So we're going to fold this, and then fold this one back, and give that a good burnish. Okay, so that's going to be how our card will start to open. But the first thing we want to do is take our snips, and we're going to cut this 1 inch score line just to the line itself, to that 1 inch score going down. So we're just going to cut right to that line. All right, and then what you want to do, and you can measure this if you need to, but I'm just eyeballing it. We're going to take it and we're going to cut from that line here and just cut up to the corner. And that's going to give us just the look of the cascading. All right, see how we did that? So we'll come over here and do the same thing on this side. So we're going to cut this one down to that score line, and then we're going to come from this corner, this edge right here, and just cut straight up to that score line, the second score line. All right, and there is that part of the, to start our, see? Okay, so we give this a good crease because we're going to need, there's going to be a lot of pieces that are going to be attached to this. All right, now we're going to work with our mechanism, which is going to be an extension to create our card. So we're going to fold these score lines back, and you're going to do like a Z fold. Okay, so we're going to get these folded, and then I'll show you what we need to do with them in just a second. So we're going to go ahead and score that one, and we're going to make our Z. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add our adhesive, and you want to add it to the back of this because this is going to attach to here. All right, and we're going to bring it, we're going to attach it right up to the edge of our cardstock like that. And then when we get ready to open it, it's going to open like that. And then we're going to put a piece, and don't worry about this because we're going to have a piece covering this up as well. All right, so do you see how that's going to go like this? Okay, so that's your Z. You want the opening to face the inside of the card, and we're going to adhere that right to the edge, to the bottom edge, and to the side. All right, so let's get our, and I would recommend doing our multi-purpose glue because it allows you that little bit of wiggle room. All right, so let's see, we're going to do that. All right, so let's get our adhesive on here. And you want to be careful not to put too much because it's, you know, you don't want it to ooze out. All right, so we're going to put that, and of course you need to hold it for a couple of seconds just so it gets it to adhere. All right, so we're going to lay that here. We're going to line that up to the edge, the top, I'm at the bottom, I apologize, and to the side. All right, so we're going to lay that down. Make sure it's on there and give it a good burnish. And again, with the multi-purpose, we can move it. So I've got that down just a little bit, so let's move him up some. We should be able to scooch him up a little bit. All right, and then that's how when we open, how that's going to work. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on this one. So this one, we have our Z, right? So we want to have this fold like that, and then it's going to open like that, okay? So we're going to put our adhesive on the back side of this. All right, and we want to make sure we put it on the right direction. So we're going to put it this way, and we're going, oops, I got it backwards. See, I'm getting ready to do it wrong. So we're going to lay it down, butt it up to the edge and the bottom, and I'm going to turn it this way a little bit so I can see, especially when you use the darker cardstock. It makes it a little bit more difficult to see as you try to line things up. So let's pull that up and get this butted right up to the edge of the card and close to the bottom. All right, so that's that. All right, there we go. Okay, so are we right? Are we good? Do we have it right? Nope. All right, let's take that off. Let's move it around. All right, we're going to fold that. There we go. That's how we want it. Okay, I had it right to begin with. All right, so let's go ahead and stick that back on there. And I've got enough glue. I'm going to add just a little bit right there in the center. That should hold that. Let's go ahead and line this up right to the edge of the card. And we can move it down just a little. All right. Okay, so there we go. So far, so good, and that's going to go like that, right? So as you open, those are your mechanisms. Okay, so the next step is we're going to take the larger pieces, and we're going to add our designer series paper to those. And this is the paper from I think it's the linen paper. And I'm not sure if it is or not, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and add these. And you can use the back side too if you choose to do that. If you don't want to have a design, you can just put the back if it's more of a neutral design. All right, so we're going to go ahead and attach this. All right, so we're going to just layer that on there. Okay, and then we'll do the second piece. All right. Okay. All right, so there's our two pieces there. Now, with this, we are going to add adhesive, and again, I would put it right here on the inside of this. This card's going to butt up to the edge, and again, you want to line it up at the bottom so that when we open, that will be there, okay? And then I'll show you how you can do what you can decorate that with. So again, we're going to put the adhesive on the card itself. That way we know exactly where it needs to go. Okay. And you want to make sure it's up to the edge, but leave enough room to where it's going to be able to fold too. So just like a 1/16 of it, not even a 1/16 of an inch. So we want to make sure it's even at the bottom. And I just push it up. There you go. Okay. And then we'll do the next one. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to push this one all the way to the side. Line it up at the top and at the bottom, I mean. Make sure it's even on the side. Give it room so you can close it and open. All right. We'll push that down, let that adhere for just a minute. All right, so far so good. See how it's working? All right, okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our basic white pieces and we're going to stamp. Now I'm going to use the Bottled Happiness stamp set and the coordinating punch. And we're going to use one of, this is the Bottled Happiness. It does come with a punch that will punch out the bottle. And we've used this before. We used this about a month ago. All right, so we're going to use this. This is the outlining of the bottle, and then this is the color of the inside. So I am going to stamp the outside first, and I'm going to do that. We're going to do this in a Poppy Parade. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my bottle because I find that it's easier to stamp the outside of it and then add the bottle to it itself. And if this doesn't work, we'll flip it over. Okay, so there's our outside. Now this one I'm going to stamp and do something a little bit differently. All right, so we're going to come in and we're going to use the same color ink. So we're going to ink up our bottle. And then we're going to see this way you can see the line when you get ready to place your bottle in there. It's a lot easier to do it this way. So I can see the outline of my bottle, and then I can get my stamp right inside that picture. We'll see if I got it right or not, if I'm close. Nope. Didn't do good on that one, did we? Let's try that again. That's why we have two-sided paper. Okay, let's try that one more time. Okay, let's hover over it. Make sure we can see what we're doing with our bottle. All right, now I think that looks good. So we're going to go ahead and push down on that. There we go, much better. All right, so we're going to leave that there. Now, there is a stamp in here that you can add a label if you want to do that. I think I'm just going to leave that blank, and I'm not going to put anything there. I think I will put, let's put this little message right here, why not? And we'll get a little block for that. And we will stamp that in, let's see, let's do Memento Black. Or actually, let's do our, let's see, what do we want? Do we want to do green? Yeah, let's do the green. Let's do our evergreen, evening evergreen. So let me close this up. All right, so we're going to stamp on here, why not? Why not? And we're going to just put it right up here at the top. Okay. Now on the next, this piece here, I am going to, I think I'll place the jug on here. We did this one before as well. And we'll do the jug in green. Now we're not using the punch, but I did want to show you that that does come with, you know, you can purchase that as a bundle with a 10% discount. All right, so we're just going to place the jug. Let's see. Let's put him off to the side a little bit, and we're going to stamp some foliage next to him. All right. And we are going to use this piece right here. So let's pull that out, and we'll just flip the back side over, and we're going to use some crumb cake. We're just going to stamp just a little bit off to the side, just to give it some, put a little bit right about there. And then we'll put something on the top. Whoops, and let's see, what sentiment do we like to use, if any? Let's see, I think we're going to, how about if we do the sending cheer? So let's do that one. And we'll do that in the Poppy Parade. So we'll kind of use opposite colors. And sending cheer. We're going to stamp that right up here off to the side, probably at an angle. All right. Now, move all this out of the way. Now we can go ahead and adhere these. Now, we could punch this out and give it some lift, but I think the card's going to be somewhat thick, so we're going to leave that the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and add the white now to the other piece in the background of the same color. And again, if you're just joining me, welcome. And if you're late, you'll get to go back and watch the replay. Whoops, let's get that one back in there straight. He's a little crooked. Hang on. The wine's already taken effect. All right, let's see. Get him in there. There we go. All right, now we get to do the other one. And then we're going to attach these to the front of the card as well. All right. And then this one's going to go on this side. And you can put these, or you don't have to decorate these if you choose not to. You can add more designer paper or design them however you would like. All right, so now these are going to go on this flap right here. So this is going to go right to the edge of that flap and, of course, down to the bottom. All right, see how that's going to be lined up? So, again, we're going to add our adhesive just on this flap so we don't get adhesive where it doesn't need to go. All right, so we're going to line this up. You can see, get it right to the edge of the flap. And I always flip it over so that I can see the back side. And again, when you're using the dark color cardstock, it makes it a little bit harder, but that's okay. All right, so there we go with that one. And then we'll line up the other one. All right, so then this one, we want to do the same thing. We're going to add it right here to the edge and to the bottom. And we'll make sure we get them nice and lined up and even. There's so many possibilities with this design. So once you all see this and make cards, make sure you share, because I'd love to see what you come up with your ideas. All right, so there's that part of the card so far, okay? So then when we go to open it, we're going to pull, and then you'll see. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we have a piece of white, the basic white, which is 4 by 5 3/8, and that's what you're going to use on the inside here. Now, you can also, if you're going to decorate this, then cut a second piece and flip your card over and place it on the back. And that's where you can write your message to the recipient. Okay? So, on this one, I think we're going to do a little bit of decorating. We are going to use the flowers. And give me 1 second. We are going to... All right, so we're going to ink this up. Let's see what colors that we want to do. Let's do our Poppy Parade. And then we're going to come back in with our Parakeet Party, and we'll do the leaves on that as well. Okay, so let's do this one. So we're just going to stamp some flowers in here. And we did this on the other card, if y'all remember. So let's see, how do we want him to go? All right, let's just stamp a little bit like, I don't know if we can get 2 on here or not, but let's try. All right, we'll put 1 there. Okay. And I think that is the outline. We want that, we want this. Well, you know what, let's leave that and let's see what it looks like. If we don't like it, we're gonna flip the card over. All right, so let me grab another block. So let's add this one in. And this one is going to overlay on that one. And we're going to do that in Parakeet Party. Okay, so remember these 3 flowers here? That's where we're going to line up these 3 right here. So see those 3 flowers? They're going to line up right on this. So we're going to do this a little different. We're going to make the inserts, which this should look nice. All right, so we've got our 3 flowers lined up. You just want to kind of look at the entire stamp before you place it down, and you'll see where it's going to fill in all of the extra areas. So we're going to go ahead and place that down. Voila! And that, oh, very good. That looks really nice. So let's do a second one. We're going to do the same thing. So let's come back with our Sweet Sorbet. I'm sorry, this is Poppy Parade. Let's go ahead and place this one down. And we'll just do a little bit. Let me get it right about like that. And you may want to not go quite as high on the card so that when the card is shut, you don't see anything. But if you do, that's fine. It's whatever you want, however you want to design your card. There's no right or wrong way. All right, so we're going to line up our 3 flowers again. Now let's see, we've turned them, so we want to get them the right direction. And remember, they're going to fill in the holes and the gaps, and then our leaves are going to go on the outside of all of those different areas. So let's make sure we've got those lined up one more time. And it's also filling in the ones towards the bottom. And I think it looks good, so we'll go ahead and place that down. There we go. And there's our card for the inside, our decoration. All right, let's add a few sentiments to that, and we'll get this put together. Let me move these out of the way. All right, so let's put on here, sending a little message, and let's do that in the evening evergreen. So let's go ahead and type that. We're going to type it. We're going to stamp that right towards the bottom. We've got room right here to put our message. Okay. All right, so with that, we're going to add this to the inside, and then we're going to add a few more things on the other designer paper on the front of the card. All right, so let's add that in. And again, you want to line this up right to the edges of the inside of the card. Make sure that you've got it centered. All right, I think that looks good. All right, so, and look, everything is covered up. All right, so now we have these 2 pieces. Now these you can leave empty, or you can put sentiments on there. And I have this one here that says, let's get into the spirit. So I think what I'm going to do is stamp this in, we're going to do evergreen, and then we're going to cut it in half and use it on each side of the card. So we can stamp it right on here. So let's do that. Let's make sure we ink this up really good. Get it nice and dark. And we'll stamp it right about like that. Maybe leave some room and we'll do some decorating around it. That's a little crooked on the paper. See if we can stamp it straight. Okay. And now we can come back and let's go ahead and trim this. Let's use our paper snips. You can use your paper cutter. Hopefully I can cut this straight. We'll see. All right, so far so good, huh? Now, what I was thinking you can do, let's cut out, we're gonna cut that in half right there, cut that off. We're gonna cut off the end two, and then we're gonna place this on one side of that card. So we're gonna do it in 3 different sections. All right, let's trim this down just a tad on this side here. We'll do this one as well. And you could put tags on this. You could cut these in tails. All right, so let's get our adhesive. So we're going to get into the spirit. All right, so we're going to place that one right here. And you may want to put it underneath so that, again, you don't see it once the card is closed. And these are small sections that we've cut, so this is going to work out just fine. Get some adhesive on that one. And we're going to place that here, right below it. Okay, and then we'll do the spirit. And we'll place that right, let me get my tweezers. And we're going to place that right there. All right, and that's that. Let's get into the spirit. And when you close that up, again, you don't see anything. And then if we want to put something on the other side, we can. Let's see what else we've got. Overflowing with happiness. Why don't we stamp that one? And we'll do the same thing. We're going to fussy cut this one out. So let's get a block. We'll add that on here. And we're going to use the back side of this piece of white right here. And we're going to put overflowing with happiness. Okay, and then this one we're just going to fussy cut. And we're just going to kind of go with around the words. Sometimes this is nice to do when you don't have a die for it. You just want to kind of go around the letters. You don't have to go around all of them, but we're just going to go all the way around, come around the top part, and then we'll attach this. And again, we're not going to pop any of these up because the card's going to already be a little bit, not bulky, but we don't want to add any more to it than we need to. So that's good. All right, so that's already cut out. Very good. And we'll add some adhesive to the back of that. Get our Tombow to work. Okay. And we're going to stick that on this side. We're going to put him at an angle. Let that sit right there for a minute. All right. So there is our card. All right. So it says, why not? Sending cheers, and open it up. Let's get into the spirit, overflowing with happiness, and then inside you can have your design. And then again, you can place your writing part right on the back, right there. All right, so what do you think about that? Leave me some comments and let me know what y'all think. And let me show you 2 other cards that I designed with this, just to show you what the differences will look like. I already showed you the Party Puffins, and let me show you the other one. This one I used the Well Done stamp set. And the paper here is from the It's a hostess set. You get 48 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, and it's called Design a Daydream. All right, and then that one, I used soft succulent card base, and then the Well Done stamp set. So I've got the jellyfish stamp with some fish, the turtle. Open it up. Now I did not put any sentiments here, and then there I've cut out some whales and stamped Well Done. I used my blending brush into Tahiti Tide, and let me make sure I've got that name right because I'm still working on these. Tahitian Tide. Tahitian Tide with the sponge, blending sponges, and then I stamped the fish in Calypso Coral, and then the whales are in Smoky Slate. And I stamped them below, and then I did fussy cut stamp them a second time and cut them out, and I popped them up on dimensionals. So there is just another example of the card. All right, so there's one card, and then you open it all the way up like that. And then here's the one that we just made with the bottled happiness. And then the other one with the puffins. Move these out of the way. And the one with the puffins for a birthday celebration. Happy birthday from all of us, and Make-A-Wish. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed this. I know it may be a little bit shorter than normal, but we're having some internet issues, so I wanted to record this in time for you all to watch it this evening. Leave me some comments of what you thought about these cards, and don't forget, with any $50 order through my online store, then you will receive the tutorial bundle of 37 tutorials, and that will be emailed to you within about 2 days after I receive notification of your order. All right, thank you everyone. I greatly appreciate it. I will not be here next week. I will do my best to try to create a video for you all. I'll keep you posted on that as well. And if you need anything, reach out. You can reach out to me by Facebook, email, dawn@shallwestamp.com, or Facebook message me, whatever is easier for you all. All right, thank you so much. Have a great Tuesday, the rest of your week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye now.